Check 212. What is this? The Flick Filter Boys back in the business. Welcome back, chat.
What's goody? Oh, welcome, Flick Filter Nation, to another Flick Filter review. I'm your boy, Big Diesel.
And I'm Coach.
It's your boys.
Your boys are back in town.
What we doing today?
What are we doing today? Man, well, we before I say what we're doing, I just want to say I couldn't be happier.
You're gonna have to,
He's not gonna get it. We are reviewing. If you've seen the movie, then you might.
if
We
you
are
know,
reviewing.
you know.
We are reviewing Wicked for Good. My friend, I've been changed for good. Yes, yes, indeed. Um,
Tough crowd.
tough crowd. Um, crazy, right?
So
Crazy.
if you hadn't already, go see our review.
Oh yeah, because we did do, huh? We did do a part one,
Yeah.
a Wicked review of
Somebody didn't think we did it, but
yeah somebody
somebody.
somebody you can guess who. Anywho, yeah, today we are reviewing the long-awaited conclusion of the epic that is the Wicked. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Um, man, it's been a crazy run. We've had the first movie was a phenomenon, really. You know, Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, they did their thing. They had all the music, the spectacle. Even got nominated for some big awards, for some Oscars. Like it was really big. Like man, honestly, I love part one. I love part one. Um, I'm gonna let the ooh, man man
Anywho,
help me. Anyways, love part one. I thought the music was great. I thought the performances were great. The production design, costume design, all great. Love the story. Um, yeah, and then it just ended with the bang. Defying gravity, crazy. Man, that was probably one of the best, movie moments that for me of last year. And then now we finally get to finish the conclusion. Um, and it was crazy. I've never seen Wicked, like the musical, the production, or anything. So as I'm seeing these movies, I'm finding out in real time, like you know what's happening as far as the plot. Um, I'm very familiar with Wizard of Oz. Seeing that a bunch of times, seeing
who isn't?
various, huh?
Who isn't familiar with the Wizard of Oz?
That's a good point. I don't know if anyone is unfamiliar with the Wizard of Oz. I can't say everybody's seen it, but it is one of those probably like most famous stories that we've had
I'd be
in
surprised
America.
if you were in your any time in your life if you're like over 30 and you hadn't seen it.
Mm, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it definitely was formative movie for me. Probably like the first live action movie that I can remember seeing as a kid. Like when I first think of movies, it's like Wizard of Oz is like
It
one of
definitely transitions, especially with black and white and then
the
to color.
color. Yeah, that's really big, and that's even the reason why they had the the ruby slippers because in the book they're silver, but they wanted to highlight both in the Technicolor and that's why in Wizard of Oz they did the red shoes, the ruby shoes. So that's just a little history thing there. But yeah, so back we're back with Wicked for Good. Um, it picks up with where part one kind of ends, even though there's somewhat of a time jump. And that is one of the more confusing things about uh, this second movie, as far as like how much time has passed, because there isn't like an explicit like 1 year later, 5 years later. It's never like that. Um, but I will say, um, I really like the intro. As far as the song, couldn't be happier. That's what I was referencing. Ariana Grande. She's very good at these intros. Like Nobody Mourns the Wicked. That was the intro to the first movie. That was probably one of the best songs for that one. Um, the intro for Good. That was probably one of the best songs in my opinion. I know everybody has their favorite songs, but this is one of those where it's very much carried by the music. Um, and I've done pretty much all the talking because DJ, have you seen the movie?
Yes.
The lie detector determined that this was a lie. Um, yeah. So I know I'll be doing most of the talking on
You
this
didn't
one.
have to call me out though.
No, the reason is because I don't want people watching saying like, "Why is he not saying nothing?" That's I had to.
Yeah.
I just wanted to state that, not to call you out for not seeing it, but just so that people won't be like, "Why Diesel not saying nothing?" And, yeah,
Why Diesel not saying
yeah. So yeah, that's where we're at. So yeah, the music.
So he's gonna try his best not to spoil. So
I am gonna try my best not to spoil, which is tough. I will say some big picture things. Part two sort of runs concurrent with the events of the original Wizard of Oz. So, um, yes, spoiler alert, Dorothy is in it. However, her as a character isn't like it's not her story. So she's very much not, she's in
in
there,
the
but
background.
she's in the background, and we see certain events that we had seen from the original film, but they're through the eyes. They're more so through the lens of Glinda and Elphaba. So, um, yeah, that's the big thing with that. So we don't even see Dorothy's face. Um, like we don't even like, and that's a important thing. Hope that's not a spoiler, but like they didn't want to show her face because when you think of
It's
Dorothy,
not really about her.
it's not about her. And when you think of Dorothy, you think of Judy Garland.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Dorothy, she appears at different points in this film, but it's not about her. Um, that's a big thing. But it really is focusing on still the relationship between Glinda and Elphaba. Um, Fiero still a major part in this film.
Is it like a love triangle?
In a sense, love triangles. Like there's some other folks in there too. It could be a love quadrilateral. It's a lot of
Parts?
stuff.
Yeah, moving parts.
It's a lot of drama for sure.
CW style.
You could say that honestly. So yes, a lot of drama. You've got Nessa Rose, who is Elphaba's sister. You have Bach. Um, if you know, you know. It's just a lot of things happening, and yeah, Glinda goes through this character journey, if you will, because like with how part one ended, it ends very triumphantly, but also it's bittersweet because they kind of go their separate directions, and all these political things going on between the animals and them getting blamed for certain things, and the wizard is on his stuff. Madame Morrible is on her stuff, and you know, and Elphaba is she's kind of the scapegoat, no pun intended. Um, so throughout this film, they connect, they reconnect, they get torn apart, and then it's I'm trying not to spoil, but I will say this: one, go see it. If you enjoyed part one, you should enjoy this. However, I will say two big things. I feel like the story was stronger in the first. Um, just from like there was more build up. There is character development in part two in For Good, but I think the second half, and like many musicals, it's like okay, you get so much build up, so much of like they do so much in the first half to set up, and then the second half is like the payoff. However, within musicals, because so much of the plot is driven by the music. The music is good, but I will say part one has is stronger overall. They still put some really good songs in part two in For Good, but um, part one I think is stronger from a story standpoint and from a music standpoint. So that's why I'm like I feel like part two is definitely good um, to see the conclusion of the story, but I will say for me, as soon as I finished watching Wicked for Good, I'm like, man, I want to go see part one again. And then I remember after seeing part one, I was like, man, I want to watch that again. And then after seeing For Good, it was like, okay, now I want to see part one again, even though I had just seen it like the day before, I think, or rewatched it the day before. So that's my overview thoughts. Without giving too much away, you got any questions?
So for somebody who only watched, um, what can you explain for somebody who only knows about the Wizard of Oz? They don't know about Wicked. What's the difference?
So
Except for the fact that it's in Elphaba's um, point of view.
yes, so it's from Elphaba's point of view, but you also get Galinda's point of view because the way it starts off is like the story is essentially being told by Galinda in the way if you go back to the very beginning of Wicked, and it's like, oh, the Munchkins are asking her, like, did you know her? Because they're celebrating the fact that she's, the wicked witch is no more. It's like, well, it's like, we've heard that you knew her. And it's like, yeah, I knew her once. And then it's like, we heard that you were her friend. And then it's like, oh, for, for y'all to be friends. And then for, um, there to be such a, for y'all to have allegedly have been friends years prior to, clearly y'all are mortal enemies, or at least that's what it seems to have been, because we only get the point of view of Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. Like speaking to people that don't have any reference point of Wicked, it's like we know Dorothy's point of view. We just know her as this girl from Kansas who ends up in Oz. We get things from her perspective, where versus with Wicked, yes, it is ultimately Elphaba's story, but we get Galinda's point of view. We get we get her sister's point of view. We get all these other characters who Dorothy also meets. We get their point of view as well, from the standpoint of like, oh, who was the Tin Man before we see him as the Tin Man? Who was the Cowardly Lion before them? Who was the Scarecrow? So it's like we get more of a point of view from these people rather than just seeing them as who they are when they come into contact with Dorothy. Um, so I feel like that's a reason why people should see it, because it's like, oh, it gives these characters more
Screen
depth.
time. Screen time.
Screen time, not
Yeah.
screen time, but also just more character depth. Like we understand more about them, not just like, oh, I want some courage, or I want a brain, or I want a heart. It's like, oh, we we think about them in a different way because we understand more context behind them. So that's a big thing, and just how Oz, Oz as a place, as a metaphor, is kind of like it's this metaphor for the American dream or the lie of the American dream, and how Oz, who is a wizard, and you know this from Wizard of Oz, he ultimately has no power, but the people believe that he does. So it's like a big thing about Oz, and a lot of the stories is like it's propaganda, and it's like people need other people to look at as the enemy. So it ends up being somebody an like an Elphaba who's called the Wicked Witch, and it's like so it in one way, I think it's created to create empathy for villains, but it's also to show that because we have all these stories like, oh, is this person the real villain, or is we want to, have you want to sympathize with our villains, but in some cases, the villain really isn't even the villain, and that's why I appreciated Wicked as a story, because this was my first exposure to this as a story, even though I've known about the play since I was probably in middle school, but I appreciate it because of the fact that I get more context and I can understand like, oh, this person may not actually be a villain. This person actually is the true villain in the story. Now I can see both sides of what is really going on.
Gotcha.
So I would definitely recommend it as a story. I know for everyone, musicals aren't necessarily their thing. Um, and because of that, I get it. That's what I'm saying. It may not be for everyone. And even the story may not be for everyone. Wicked for Good definitely is the pacing may be a little off. It's not, it's in some ways it's shorter than the first one, but the pacing I feel like for part one was better. So it's definitely not a perfect movie, but it's still very entertaining.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Um, no, I got nothing.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't have too much more to add without getting into more spoiler type of things. Yeah, because it's like to really go into stuff, it would end up spoiling. Um,
Go follow him on the TikTok.
yeah, go follow on the TikTok. I can't remember. I honestly didn't say too much even on TikTok to be honest. Yeah, so go check it out. But if you haven't seen part one, go see part one and then go see part two.
Okay. What would you rate it?
3.5.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah, 3.5. So I think I rated part one a 4 out of 5. Low key, I could have rated that even higher maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to be more stingy with my ratings, but for sure, I definitely enjoyed it though.
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. Well, that is all we got today. So post your comments down below, let us know. And yeah, I hope y'all, as of recording this, I hope y'all have a good holiday season.
Yes. Have a great holiday season. Yeah, let us know what your favorite Wizard of Oz adaptation is. Do you like The Wiz? Do you like The Muppets Wizard of Oz? That's one of my favorites. Return to Oz. That's a deep cut. Yeah, let us know. Phineas and Ferb got one of them Wizard of Oz specials. There's a lot out there.
Yeah. But yeah. So go subscribe. Tell your dog, your friend, your scarecrow, your lion.
Scarecrow, your lion, and your Tim and too.
Amen.
Amen.
But yeah, we'll see y'all in the next one. Y'all have a good one, and God bless.
Have a good one, chat.